You guys, welcome back to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment, do your thing, right? But as time goes on and everybody losing their jobs, can't get jobs, what are the young people in their early 20s to do? Get on drugs. Party and not worry about nothing like it's 1999 until the end of their time, which is pretty much tomorrow. And this is a sad case of a Southern California man, which was 22 years old. I don't know why they said he was a teen, but he was 22, which means he was a teen 3 years ago. Let's go ahead and see what happened.
Now at 10:30, a family suffers a devastating loss after their son dies from an accidental drug overdose. The drug, a synthetic opioid that is 40 times stronger than fentanyl. A group of synthetic opioids called nitazines are becoming the latest threat in this dangerous epidemic.
22-year-old Bryce Jaquette died after a night out with friends from a drug that many people have never heard of. Tonight, his family is sharing his story with our Corrine winner in hopes of saving other lives.
Just days after returning home from a family cruise last April.
Look at this. Everybody's having a good time. They said family cruise, right? These videos that come across my feed with these young guys, they're either crashing out or they're dying from drugs. And then they kill themselves if they did crash out. But what I'm noticing is a lot of these guys are coming from well-off families. So I'm trying to put two and two together to why this is. It's like these guys have it all, yet they're still miserable. They have families with money. But then a lot of times families with money usually try to control their children with the money. It's all control. But then I'm not saying that's the case in this. But what I'm saying is he's well off. Why would you even go this route? Is life not going right? Or you're not getting what you want? Are your family stressing you out about where to go to school, your future, getting married, starting a family? Like, what's the cause of all this? Because it goes way beyond just smoking weed. But then you get high once, you want to get high again. And then next thing you know, you want to hide your habits from family and friends, and you're out on the streets living with all the other people that like to get high.
Filled with laughter and memories. Cindy and Andrew Joquette would find their son Bryce dead right in front of their Stevenson Ranch home.
He was lifeless in his car.
The 22-year-old never made it to his front door after a night out with friends, the victim of a deadly drug overdose.
And to know he was so close to home.
Yeah, they probably will end up selling that house too, because every time they come home through that front door or garage, it's a reminder to where they last seen their son's body, in that car, which is wild. Like, that's just something that doesn't go away. That causes PTSD. But then they say the best way to fight PTSD is to challenge the problem or face the problem.
It's such a silent death. He was right here in the front yard, and maybe I could have saved him if I knew.
Bryce didn't die from taking fentanyl, the leading cause of fatal overdoses all across the country. It was something much stronger and more lethal that most people, including the Joquettes, say they'd never heard of.
I miss him so much. Look how handsome he is.
A group of synthetic opioids called nitazines that's emerging as a...
Look at that. That's wild. So it's like when you're on these drugs like this, you lose all this massive amounts of weight. You don't have an appetite. You just want to get high. Get high until you die.
A new threat in the illicit drug epidemic. Bryce's parents say he thought he was taking Xanax, but that pill was packed with a type of nitazine.
I'm absolutely positive there's more kids that have died from it.
According to the Drug Enforcement Administration, nitazines can be up to 40 times stronger than fentanyl. Nitazines, which have different strains, were initially studied as an alternative to morphine. They're not approved for medical use due to the high risk of overdose and death. But now criminals are using this illegal substance to drive profits. Special Agent in Charge Brian Clark with DEA LA Field Division.
What we are seeing is local drug traffickers that are ordering the chemical directly from chemical companies and pharmaceutical companies in China and international through the dark web, and then they are adding it to the supply chain in their local areas.
Yeah, you hear that? So there's ways to sneak this stuff in. The dark web. Yeah, there's websites for everything. Sometimes you need special links only to people who can access it. You forgot there's Google Forms, and you can pretty much, like, people have their connection. There's ways around everything. Nothing's foolproof, and the government can't control everything. That's why it's the World Wide Web. The government doesn't control the world. Governments can only control their own country. It's wild though, right? But see, when these drugs are imported in from whatever laboratories overseas, there's no direct way to know exactly what else this fentanyl or whatever pills are mixed with. It's just slop mixed together and then in a pill form. You just distribute it out. You tell everybody it's fentanyl when really it's something else and you don't know.
What makes nitazene so dangerous is that Narcan isn't always effective in reversing overdoses. You may need multiple doses. Detection is another challenge. Small amounts of nitazene's concentrations so low can still be lethal. The drug is often undetected in routine death investigation testing and medical emergencies. Nitazene-related deaths have spiked in states like Tennessee and Texas. Gray McAllister lost her 22-year-old son, Lucci, to the drug in January. 3 months later, Lucci's close friend Hunter died from the same overdose.
I know of four overdoses in a 4-month period. Just in this tiny, boating community, Clear Lake, which is, a suburb of Houston. So I can't imagine what it is on a larger scale.
California isn't reporting.
And see, this is what I was talking about. Even if you do come from a well-off family, a family with money in the suburbs, trust fund baby, some of these people are trust fund babies. It's not that they were poor their whole lives and didn't have any money. They just got addicted to the wrong addiction that landed them here because they're either mad at their family or they're embarrassed to be around their family. So they rather choose to be homeless and on drugs than to face the real world. Luckily, we all have choices, right? But not everybody's gonna make the right ones, and they shouldn't be judged by that. But it just sucks to read about what happened to them when they choose a deadly choice.
Significant cases yet, but agents warn
It is a matter of time as nitazenes are.
Whoa, I didn't know LA had their own vehicle for homeless healthcare. That's amazing. But see, notice that most large liberated cities would have these type of services, unlike populations under 1 million. They don't want to spend money on services like this because they think it's a waste of resources. The goal is to get them off the streets. But when you close down one encampment onto the next, people disappear, they go missing. I'm like, what are they doing? Are they killing them off and not saying nothing?
Starting to make their way here now too. So that's why we want to get ahead and put that public awareness out there that, again, one pill, one time, you never know what you're going to take.
nitazenes are even on the radar of congressional leaders with a new bipartisan bill, the first legislation ever to stop the spread of nitazenes, with targeted loopholes to counter drug traffickers.
Wow. Why does it look like Tums though?
Bryce and Julia.
What about drug dealers, like the person also responsible for Bryce's death? The Jocats say their case is the first nitazene-related federal prosecution in California, with the defendant pleading guilty to distributing protonitazene, resulting in an overdose death. That individual is now awaiting sentencing.
Do you think?
Wow. You hear that? What about the dealers? They're not being held accountable like that. Some are, some aren't. But this one is.
I think this is what it's going to take, prosecuting cases like these to minimize the deaths.
It's important to go even further above that, where it's coming from China, from Mexico, from cartels, and get it off of the streets.
But the U.S. government's not going to go that far. We all know that. They don't like to spend money. That's why they move all the mass productions overseas, so then they don't have to pay the employers livable wages. This is Kylie Vale. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to leave the link down in the description. And you guys have a good rest of your Monday. Peace out.